because I wouldn't want to find anybody in the audience to be found in contempt of court. I do not want any outbursts or remarks. Thank you.
Quiet, please.
Please state your name for the record.
Leron Porter. Providence Police Department were called to a shots fired last evening just after 6:30 p.m. in the area of Spruce Street in Providence. Upon arrival, numerous witnesses indicated that this defendant had arrived at Spruce Street possessing and carrying a firearm, and while a fight was going on which involved his sisters and a number of other individuals, this defendant shot in the stomach the complainant in this case, who ultimately died at Rhode Island Hospital this morning at 4 a.m. from the one gunshot wound. Based upon the facts as presented at this time, we ask that he be held without bail.
I love you, Leron.
Quiet. Quiet. Quiet.
I love you.
Bus back in session. Be seated and quiet.
State your name for the record, ma'am.
The state submits that during the investigation of the shots fired that occurred last evening on Spruce Street sometime after 6:30 p.m., numerous witnesses identified the shooter. The state submits, as previously brought before you, Leron Porter, as fleeing in a vehicle with a number of females, one being this defendant, Dennissa Porter. Dennissa Porter was apprehended in the motor vehicle.
Be seated and quiet.
The state submits at this time, as it relates to Miss Reanel Cassell, who is 24 years of age, that she's an alleged Superior Court bail violator, the felony assault being assault upon an individual with a razor blade. This defendant, while out on bail, pending in Superior Court a felony charge, is with Leron Porter, who was released 10 days ago after serving 8 years for a federal offense for weapons violations, with another defendant who's on a 4-year suspended sentence for assault charge, with another defendant who's on 3 separate suspended sentences, and is engaged in a fight. The state submits when she was placed on bail in Superior Court, a judge did not say, you have to keep the peace and be of good behavior, but it's okay to commit a misdemeanor. It is not, whether it's a disorderly conduct or a murder. She's alleged to be in violation in not keeping the peace and being good behavior, especially in this case, in which during the fight, the brother of one of the individuals who she's with produces a firearm and shoots and kills the individual. So we ask that she be held without bail. Just the circumstances of her being with those convicted felons is in violation of the terms and conditions of her bail.
Court's in receipt of a 1-count misdemeanor criminal complaint brought by the Providence Police Department, which alleges that on May 9, 2011, you did intentionally, knowingly, and recklessly engage in fighting, threatening, violent, and tumultuous behavior in a public place in violation of Rhode Island general laws.
This defendant, 19 years of age, was with her sister and brother, previously identified as Leron Porter. While the fighting was going on, the state submits witnesses have identified this defendant as becoming involved in the fight, ultimately engaging in violent and tumultuous behavior. Ultimately, upon the gunshot, in this case, Mr. Porter, along with this defendant, the sister of Mr. Porter, as well as the other 4 individuals who were previously before you, all fled in the same vehicle.
Anything in regards to the fight that she was in, she's charged with disorderly conduct, which in a situation like this is often the charge when no one knows who started the fight. She may have significant self-defense issues that have not been have not had the opportunity to be aired. Indeed, we don't know what exactly happened to cause that fight, or at what stage the fight was at, or what this individual was doing at the point that someone pulled a gun and relieved that gun of a bullet. The state of Rhode Island hasn't given this court any reason to believe that she would flee, hasn't given the court any reason to believe that she even has the means of flight.